Meet Natalie. Natalie loves books.
This is your brain on books. Any questions? And this is Angela. She's a very serious jazz singer.
Shooby-dooby-dooby-doop-doop-doo. And sure, we both like to stay informed, but this world sometimes, am I right? You know what we need? 30 minutes of meditation.
Pop culture meditation.
So we're here to remind you.
We get it. You're smart. But right now, take a deep breath and put your books down. Hi, Angela.
Hi, Natalie.
How you doing?
I am doing very well.
Good, good.
How are you?
I'm great. I'm really into my soothing tones today.
Oh, I think that's great. I think we should both be
Yes.
into soothing tones.
Yes.
I think we could all use a little of that.
Sometimes I get so excited about
Mm,
doing this with you
mhm.
that I get super amped up and sound a little bit like a crazy person.
Well, girlfriend, I mean, let's just all be soothing then.
We're soothing until we realize that we're our own individual parties.
Right.
So when we come together, it's basically a fraternity bash.
Well, that's true. And I am having some beer.
Oh, you are?
What about you?
Oh, I'm having the huge.
Okay. Well, ranch
Tequila
water?
No. Ranch water is tequila, soda water, and lime juice.
Oh, you don't do the lime
I don't do
juice.
the lime juice. I mean, I'll
So
have
this
a
is
lime, if I'm feeling fancy, but
right.
usually it's just reposado tequila, like well brand, and a flavored Waterloo.
Okay. So you don't have the ranch water. You have the natch water.
Yes,
It's
natch
water.
squatch water.
Okay,
Yeah.
everybody. You're welcome. You heard it here.
Yep. We started it.
Well, everybody,
Um,
welcome our friends, Natalie.
Welcome. Hey, hi.
Hi.
Hey, guys.
Hey, everybody.
Thank you,
Listeners.
everybody, for being here. Really appreciate it. You could be doing lots of other things, and we are very blessed that you are here right now.
Maybe they are doing other things, like
if you are here.
maybe they're
Well, they
taking
could
their
be
walk.
listening to other things.
Right. True.
I mean, there's only like 10 podcasts out there.
I know.
So
Yeah.
just grateful that we're in the
Top 10.
in the top 10
Right.
in the world.
Right.
So
Yeah.
not for nothing.
So grateful.
Okay, so today
Mm-hmm.
we're going to talk about we talk about true crime sometimes, we talk about cults, stuff like that. This is a story, and it's I've seen some datelines on this before. I've seen like 2020s on this before, like
Oh, I
not
didn't know that.
yeah, this has been like discussed before,
Mm-hmm.
but Netflix did this little docu-series. It's called American Nightmare, and it's about the abduction of Denise Huskins and Aaron Quinn. And it's quite in Vallejo, California.
Yeah.
And it's quite a unique case that I feel it's important that we talk about it, because there's a lot to talk about here. And as I consider myself is like a devalued detective. Is that like I'm a detective in my own right, but I don't feel like I'm recognized as such.
You don't have any detective degrees or whatnot.
Right. Yeah. I think that just means be a cop. But
yeah.
With some years on it. And obviously I'm not going to go to cop school.
Right.
Okay.
Right. You probably don't even need to, but
I don't,
yeah,
quite frankly.
But you just need the piece of paper to say that you have the credentials to be a cop.
For some people.
Yeah.
For some people, that's important.
You could go rogue. But anyway, so
what
you're saying is that you
vigilante.
Right.
And that I would much rather be a vigilante, but you can get in trouble for that or whatever.
You'd be like Dog, the bounty hunter, kind of.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
A bounty hunter.
I'd be the
I
wife.
want to solve the cases. I don't want to.
Yeah.
Oh, you would absolutely be the wife.
Beth, is that her name?
I don't know. May she rest in peace.
Yeah. R.I.P.
R.I.P. Okay.
Anyway,
so
we are digressing.
We are digressing, but let's just get into this.
Yeah, it's called
American Nightmare. And it's about this kidnapping, abduction of Denise Huskins and her boyfriend, Aaron Quinn. in Vallejo, California. And what happens is these two men come in like wetsuits in the middle of the night while they are asleep in their house. And they put goggles, like swimming goggles on them with tape over it so they can't see them. They make them drink NyQuil. And then the men took Denise with them. So they kidnapped her. And you hear, and then, they play the 911 call that Aaron calls and said, my girlfriend's just been kidnapped, yada, yada. And then you go to we are then seeing the interview at the police station of Aaron, the boyfriend, who's the first person that everybody goes to. If anything
Always.
happens, it's always either the husband or the boyfriend.
Yes.
It's just like, you have to do that to rule out.
Right.
You would think in this case,
right.
No one's ruling anyone out.
No.
Because they're assuming that Aaron did it.
Right off the get.
Right off the jump. They're not even giving him any benefit of the doubt.
None.
And the lead detective that we're dealing with here is Detective Mustard.
Okay.
I'm going to let you talk.
Colonel Mustard is this absolute a-hole who, I'm just going to say right off the bat.
Just a shit cop.
Doesn't believe Aaron one bit.
Not
doesn't
for a second.
Believe him for a second. Doesn't give him any benefit of the doubt whatsoever, and just starts questioning him like, let me just roll this back to make this look like you did this. And then I'm just going to work backwards from there because I know that you did this. Because Aaron's telling him this story about how they drugged him and he didn't come to until like 11 o'clock the next morning, and they had put like a camera up in the corner of his bedroom, and they were watching him, and they were saying like, we're gonna kill her if you call 911. So we're watching you, so don't do it, And so he finally just gets the balls to go to the police, even though they've like been threatening him and telling him like all these things. Anyway, and so then fast forward, we do end up getting proof of life from. Well, do you want to skip all the way to the proof of life, or do you want to back it up? Okay, back it up.
So he was interrogated for 18 hours.
18 hours, right.
Which, unreal. But what's impressive is a lot of times when people, this is how you get false confessions a lot of the time. Because you're exhausted, you're scared, and they completely mess with you to where you make you feel, they gaslight you so hard that you're so confused.
You're worn down.
Terrified. You're worn down.
Yeah.
And he did not break. He did not change his story. He was like, okay, I love her. And he was honest. So, little backstory on their relationship, Aaron and Denise. That evening, Denise had seen some text messages that Aaron was sending his ex-girlfriend.
Right.
And he was very forthcoming about that. And they were like, well, what's that? What's that all about? And he was like, well, I was trying to get her back. She cheated on me, but I was still trying to work it out. And Denise saw the text, and I had told her I was sorry, and she was really upset.
Right.
And so my part in this, I'm like, and by the way, disclaimer, any like opinions or thoughts are all harmless here.
Right.
But it's just things that people are thinking, and I'm going to say them out loud maybe.
Okay, go ahead.
And no one's blaming, no victim blaming, none of that. Okay.
Go ahead.
So she stays the night anyway.
Yeah.
As she's super mad at him about these text messages to the ex-girlfriend. And I think the idea was that she was done. Like it sounded like she was going to break up with him. But she still stayed the night and got kidnapped, right?
Yes.
So he's forthcoming with all this information, which, I mean, yeah, I guess that's important, but I don't know. I mean, they would have gone through his phone anyway, I'm sure. But he was very upfront, and he told them everything, and they still didn't believe him. And then they thought he was guilty. And then now, and then his lawyer, he's like, lawyer, which he should have said in the beginning.
The beginning.
Anything this happens, you say lawyer. Don't even, and if that makes you look guilty, fuck them. They don't care. Just say lawyer. Don't ever say word.
Right. But wait, before you go on, I want to say one thing. They had turned off his phone. Remember?
Yes, that's right.
His phone was off while he was being interrogated after they like went through his phone.
Yeah.
And Aaron had told them, the kidnappers have told me they are going to contact me again.
Right.
I have proof of this. They're going to contact me and tell me like the next steps because they want like, did they want ransom?
What? They were looking for ransom.
But it wasn't like a lot of money though.
No.
Right? It was like.
No. And that's further into the deep dive later.
Oh,
it wasn't.
Okay.
It was very stupid.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. So move it forward. Yeah. Yeah.
Like it was like $50,000.
Yeah. Something like that.
Like
ridiculous.
it was like a kidnapping in 1981. Okay,
Yeah.
$50,000
Yeah, right.
isn't a lot of
It was
money for ransom these days. Okay,
right. It was like Dr. Evil when he's like
yeah, one, yeah,
100 whatever. It
yeah.
was
So
like
he's
that.
like
And I like up that a little bit.
1 million. Yeah, right.
Yeah, right.
So okay, now you jump to like
Proof of
after
life.
proof of life. Yeah,
Okay, so
so
the next thing that happens is she's gone for what? How many days?
she's gone for
2
but they
days.
turn his phone on,
They turn his phone
and
on.
there's messages from the kidnappers.
Right. Yes. And she has called and left a message. Oh,
Yep.
I
They
right.
they
Does
had
the kid
her
you
send
go.
a
Go.
voice they had her send, a voice recording
Yeah.
saying, "I'm
Oh, yeah.
alive.
Right.
This is my name. This is my birthday. I am absolutely kidnapped," you know,
Yes.
s proving that she was actually kidnapped. So then
Yeah,
they
she
were
had to,
like,
like, talk
"Okay,
about a news story to
yeah,
prove that that was, like, really
that's right.
happening
Like,
at
this
that
is
moment.
current."
Yeah.
Mhm.
So and then the cops immediately go to like, they just jump right to, these guys are clearly doing something together.
Right.
They're trying to pull a fast one on us, and this is basically like Gone Girl. And
So,
this
yes, they basically
like, they're
called it the
faking
Gone
this.
Girl kidnapping that they and, obviously, this was the year that movie came out.
Right.
And let me ask you something.
Yes.
What would you do
Mhm.
if you were robbed and
Mhm.
you called the police
Mhm.
and you're talking to the police and they're like, "Mhm,
Mhm.
sure. We've all seen Home Alone."
Right.
I mean, I I'd
Right.
be like, "Okay." My
Yeah.
response would be like, "Oh, okay. Well, that's cool, Detective Mustard. But is Mustard really your last name? Because we've all seen Clue." You know?
Yes.
Like, I would be
Yes.
if someone threw a current movie or book at me
Yes, I
when
know.
you're, like, talking about a crime, like, "I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry.
Just say you
What?
don't wanna do this. Just
Right.
say you don't wanna look into this. Just say you're bad at your job.
I
Just
know.
own it and don't, like, blame it on me because of a new release in theaters and keep talking about this." Honestly, it was more of a movie club or a book club for these cops than
Right,
it
right,
was an actual
right.
investigation.
Oh,
They
oh my
weren't
god.
doing shit.
You are so right.
It
You are
was
so
just
right.
they were the cops were obsessed
Yeah.
with Gone Girl.
Yeah.
I mean,
Totally. Totally.
and that's I think they were, like, wanting to live out Gone Girl
Yeah.
because none of that like, they didn't have
Yes.
any evidence to say that this was a hoax, that they
I
were
know.
pulling a Gone Girl. Like, I'm sorry.
I
What's
know.
wrong with you?
I know. It's
It's
absolutely insane.
atrocious.
Yeah, it's insane.
And so she in the oh, and then we find out that the person kidnapped was not supposed to be Denise, Aaron's current girlfriend. It was supposed to be his ex-girlfriend who they had been texting. And let me ask you a question, Angela. If you were Denise,
Yeah.
when you found out that it wasn't even supposed to be her,
Yeah, yeah,
that
yeah,
it was
yeah.
supposed to be this chick that he's texting,
Right.
how mad would you be?
Well, I mean, I would be, livid, but
I
I would
mean,
be livid, but I would be absolutely livid, but I feel like this woman was so scared. She was
yeah.
so terrified because this guy was scary. She was blindfolded the whole entire time,
Yep.
except for when he, like, put her in this room to say she could take off the
The
blindfold,
bathroom or
the
something.
bathroom, because he was getting ready to come in and R her.
Right, she was assaulted twice, and
Yes.
it was recorded, and the kidnapper is trying to play this nice guy.
Yeah. It's just absolutely sick.
And she realizes just one person
Yeah.
after later,
She
but
thinks that there's
she
more than
thinks
one
there's
person.
2
Yeah.
and it's just 1,
Yeah.
and she's assaulted twice because and he's saying he's trying to be, like, compassionate about it,
Yeah, he's
okay?
like, "There."
Which there's no
He's like
such thing.
he's
He's
blaming it
like,
on these other people that
"Yeah,
are saying they need me to
like, they're
make it
these
look really real, that, like,
yeah,
I'm
I
taking
have to
advantage,
do
that I have
this."
to do this to you, and
Yeah.
so we have to make it look real,
So
and
we
so
it has to look real.
it has to
Can
look
you imagine?
real.
Mm-mm.
No,
No.
because they were saying that they had to get, collateral on her,
Right.
like, basically that she wanted it.
I think that would make it scarier for me.
Yeah. Oh,
Like,
yeah,
oh, he's trying
totally.
to 1, like, he's acting like a human, and 2, it has to look real. That
Yeah,
to me is the scariest part of all of this.
100%, 100%. It's so violating.
Other than initially getting
Oh, yeah.
tooken, like
Tooken.
Liam Neeson
Take.
tooken,
Tooken. Tooken.
tooken. Um,
Don't
so
make me
she's
laugh,
being
this is a serious topic.
I know, I'm sorry,
Sorry.
but we have to have
Yeah,
a little
I
break
know,
from
it's
that.
fine, you're fine.
So they're also forced to drink NyQuil, right? That's
Yeah,
why
yeah.
he was he overslept, and so she's having to drink NyQuil this whole time.
Yeah.
Okay, well, anywho, he decides that he's gonna let her go. So
Yes.
he makes her drink a whole bunch of the NyQuil,
Yep.
and then he drops her off literally on the street where she grew up,
8 hours away. I mean, this is a long drive because
right,
it
on
comes out later, Huntington
Huntington
Beach
Beach.
or Fullerton or something.
I
Huntington
think
Beach, I think.
Huntington.
I think you're right. But they were coming from, we find out later, like Lake Tahoe,
Right,
which is like north of the Bay Area. That's like way up in the mountains.
because you know all about the Bay Area.
I do, because I used to live
You
there.
used to live there.
I don't know if you guys knew.
I
Maybe people
forgot.
don't know this, but I used to live in the Bay Area, so I know
Mhm.
exactly where Vallejo is. I know
Totally.
exactly where like Mare Island is. Anyway, yeah.
So, but then there were she was dropped off like on her street, and they have like video footage from people's cameras of her walking to her parents' house.
Yeah.
And she wasn't running, she was walking slowly.
Yeah.
One, because she's drugged, but the police,
Right.
so when she goes home and the police then saw the video of her walking home, that it was like casual, they then accuse her
Man.
of being further part of the Gone Girl kidnapping,
Oh
and they
god.
hold a press conference
Oh my
and
gosh. This
accuse
press
her of that,
conference.
and humiliate her and call her a fraud and a liar before they even talked to her.
I know, and
They hadn't even talked to her yet.
they haven't talked to her, and they haven't even like checked out. Well, we don't know this until later. They haven't checked out anything. They haven't done anything.
No, they've done
All
no
they've done is try
investigating.
to investigate Aaron
They're
and
debunking
Denise.
something that's not to be debunked.
Debunked. Yeah.
But, I remember when this was going on. I remember when this story was that this was a Gone Girl
This is like
kidnapping.
2015, I think.
Yes, and the dateline, one of the datelines I saw was before they like had proven that it was real.
Right.
So
Right.
they
Right.
were
Right. Right.
she had like this couple
Wow.
was thrown all over the place, like
Yeah.
absolutely treated horribly.
Yeah.
But then so the kidnapper
Yes.
sees this press calling it Gone Girl, calling her liar, calling
Calling
them
it a
liars,
hoax.
a hoax, and the
Eat.
kidnapper reaches out to the media and is pissed that they weren't getting that Denise and Aaron were getting blamed for their kidnapping and accused of liars, and he's like,
'Cause
nuh-uh,
excuse me,
I
that
did it.
was me. I
Excuse
was the one
me.
who did that.
Yeah,
Like,
I need credit.
I need credit for this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, that is also so weird to me. He's
I
like,
have so many thoughts about that.
I mean, they're not lying. This was real. I'm like,
I
dude, you had it all. You were good.
You were
He was
golden.
gold. He
You
was
were
golden.
gold. Yeah.
But that's like
No.
a thing with
No.
serial killers. They want credit where credit is due. That's
Yes.
what they want.
Let's
They want
also
praise.
this guy has another I have other things to say about this guy, but
Yeah.
let's finish wrapping up what happens in the case. So the plot thickens because we find
Mhm.
out that there's been other incidents happen that have been this exact same MO, this
The
exact same thing,
goggles,
the
the
whole 9 yards.
wetsuits,
Yep.
the NyQuil.
Yes. And that there was a woman down in Alameda County who this happened to in Dublin, I believe.
Yep.
And then there was another incident where there was a woman in Palo Alto who had been taken in the same exact way, and that's down like that's like down by San Jose, kind of like on the peninsula. So these are like 3 different areas
Mhm.
of the Bay Area. These are like maybe an hour apart each. Okay,
The Dublin one got away.
yeah, the Dublin person got away. The Palo Alto lady, he like freaked out halfway through it and was like, "I can't do this to you,"
Mhm.
and like left.
Mhm.
But none of these cases, if for what this is what boggles my mind constantly with law enforcement. Do they not look at the news? Do they not look at each other's like incidents? Do they not look? I mean, I know there's a lot to look at, but what do we pay you for? Like
I
compare notes, people. Like
I
what on
know.
earth? And the thing that
Why do you
really
have walkie-talkies?
why do you have
Why do you have those
walkie-talkies?
over?
What? Yeah.
Why do you even have that? You shouldn't even have that
Exactly.
because you only use it for dumb shit.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, you use
Not
it
when
to
it matters.
play games.
Yeah,
So, and then, and then also like nobody believes the women.
I know.
Nobody believes the women.
I know. I
And
mean,
I'm
they
just
were
like,
saying that she was the bad guy in this, and Aaron was a victim after, like when she came out, like she did this to you, she lied to you. This was not she. You should
I
be
know.
like you should hate her for
I
this.
know. I know.
I know.
It's
But
sickening.
they figured out the guy because of the Dublin, California mishap,
Yes.
miss kidnap,
Yes.
and it was the guy Matthew Mueller, who was
Yes.
a U.S. Marine and Harvard law graduate.
Yeah.
And there was this female cop that was like saw the
Bless
connection, then she
her.
realized oh, bless her. This would have never
Bless this
happened
woman. I
because
know.
they were gonna charge Denise, with, like, fake kidnapping.
Yes.
Like, they were trying to press charges against her.
This cop's name is
Um,
Misty Caruso, by the
yeah,
way, from the Dublin PD.
she's darling,
She is
and she
wonderful.
got to the bottom of it and wasn't gonna rest till she did, and she did and figured out it was this guy, Matthew Mueller, and
Through a
he was
series
in
of
Lake
wonderful events that just with great police work, I might add. Misty.
she worked
Good
solo.
job, Misty.
She did.
I know. Good
Thank you,
job, Misty.
Misty.
Thank you.
Um, she got to the bottom of the Lake Tahoe situation, and
Mhm.
they went to his house, found him,
Found the
and
car.
he didn't deny it.
No, found DNA evidence, found the car,
Found the
found all the
goggles,
goggles,
found the
found the
zip
bag,
ties,
all the
all the
stuff.
stuff, everything, the
Everything,
NyQuil,
every
everything was
single
there.
thing.
It was
Everything.
it was like DuckTales Eureka for the
It
investigators
was
when they
like
got there.
he
It was literally all there.
wanted so badly to be caught. It was so clear.
He really wanted to be caught, and he was like this normal looking guy.
I know.
Like you just never know.
Well, okay, and that was where I come in with some of my stuff. So, first of all, um, I I guess after the case, I guess we need to finish the what happens with the plot. But basically, they catch him. He goes to jail.
Yeah.
He's
Bye.
he's in jail. So the
Bye.
man is now in jail.
Yep.
Okay. Now, during the trial, I watched. I actually took it upon myself to watch the jailhouse interview with Matthew Mueller. Did you see that?
No, I wish I
It's on
had.
YouTube.
Oh, I'm gonna write that down
So,
to do
okay,
that.
so he is up there and first of all, he's being held until 2049 in Arizona. He's been out doing shit with NyQuil and zip ties since 2009. Okay.
Whoa.
Um, the ex, by the way, we wanted to put this little fact in there. The ex, Andrea, was actually dating the FBI agent who was assigned
Yes.
to the case, David Sesma.
Yep.
And he was not taken off the case for conflict of interest, even
Right.
though it was like a massive conflict of interest.
Yeah.
Because when the kidnapper said this was actually meant for Andrea, like, why did no one go, oh,
Everyone's
wait,
like,
this is weird? And
huh.
that has never been, that whole part of this thing has never been really explained. I don't really understand any of that. Like,
No.
how did he know who Andrea was, the kidnapper? How did he know who Andrea
They
was?
did
Like,
not they never said.
we never explain, that's never explained to us.
Mm-mm.
So, and Denise and Aaron are kind of convinced that there was another person, but then
Mhm.
it's later found out that I guess there wasn't.
Mhm.
But anyway, I'm watching this jailhouse interview, and this guy, I don't know if you knew this, he was going to take this, he was going to be his own he was going to defend himself.
Yes, of course they
Just
always
okay,
do.
right? Like,
Okay.
so
Yep.
the man
Like Ted
wants to
Bundy.
defend himself, just like Ted Bundy. I'm like Ted
Mhm.
Bundy much because we have
M
this asshole who
Charles
thinks he's
Manson.
smarter than everyone. He's
Mhm.
clearly like a sociopath.
Yep.
He had some incident in Arizona where, like, the prisoners, like, beat him up or whatever, but he was actually trying to help prisoners who were wrongly accused, like, get off. Like, he
I
was
promise you the ones he was helping were not wrongly accused.
right. So, he is not remorseful at all. He comes off like this boy next door kinda guy. He also they were asking, like, "Are you trying to re-traumatize her by doing cross-examination?"
Yes.
And he's like, "No, I absolutely would never," and he's doing all this lawyer speak, Natalie. It is
Well, because he's a
insane.
Harvard Law graduate.
It is crazy. He's mad at the police for not believing that she was kidnapped. He breaks that all down. He has no info about Andrea. He won't say anything about Andrea. Um, he's laughing. He's confident. He's got total control of this case. Like, he's just totally in control. Anyway, it was just
Oh my
it's
god.
crazy. He's married now. He has a woman who he explains it in this video. He's
So
like,
are the Menendez brothers.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I mean,
These
who are
women. The
these
Night
people?
Stalker got married in jail.
Who are these people
He
who
had a
marry the
fan club at his
what
trial.
what on earth?
Did.
I mean,
He did.
what what
Mm-mm.
I
It
don't
ain't right.
I don't
Uh-uh-uh.
I don't even have
Mm-mm-mm.
any I got nothing about that.
I
I can't even.
I
I can't even.
mm,
Um So here's the thing. This is what I have come to. Uh, this is my final analysis of
okay.
this
Mhm.
person.
Mhm.
If you need a good lawyer, get yourself a sociopath.
Oh, You gotta
They
get
make the
the
best
dirtiest ones.
lawyers.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
They're
Gotta
dying to
get
argue, they're dying
Mhm.
to be right about everything,
Yeah.
they argue and argue and argue and argue and
Yep.
flip it
Yep.
back, and they're just
Yep.
absolute there's no remorse,
Yeah.
no empathy, they're just like, "Bulldog," like,
I
that's it,
mean, yeah, I mean, you have
right?
to yeah, you have to sell your soul a little bit,
Yeah,
especially, like, in a, criminal case,
yeah,
like,
right, defending
defense
a
attorney,
guilty
oh,
uh,
lord.
I know,
That is
yep,
so complicated.
it's so
Because a lot of
complicated.
times they're innocent, but a lot of times they're not,
I know, a lot of
okay?
times they're not. So, anyway, I mean, so this couple, they do end up getting married.
Yeah, I wanna talk about
Okay, let's
that.
just talk about that. So
Okay.
okay.
Um, why, y'all?
Mhm.
The thing is, she was going to break up with him,
Well, we
right?
don't know this for sure, do we?
Well, I mean, she was super miffed, but she wasn't miffed enough to leave after the text messages. And like,
Right.
he was like, give me another chance. Maybe
Yeah.
she was going to change her mind. But let me ask you something.
Okay.
Um, do you think that you kind of like what else would this couple was like humiliated and like thrown through the mud through the entire world. They needed to like
Yes.
relocate. Like, do you kind of just say, let's do this
Yeah.
because we both went through this
Yeah.
and no one's ever like this is like, don't be mad at me anymore about those texts. Let's spend our lives together and have babies because we've been through this trauma together.
Yeah.
So then does it turn into American Nightmare turns into American Love Story
Yeah. It turns
minus
into
the
American
crimes?
Dream. Yes.
Like
Good
minus the
dream.
crimes?
Uh-huh. Mhm.
But I
Yep.
mean,
Well, maybe it did bring them together, you
well,
know?
if I don't think that I think that she would have gotten fed up with the text message, with the ex-girlfriend stuff. Um, you know,
I mean, so you're
ipso facto, here we are. It's just crazy how the universe is crazy how you like these love connections just become weirder and weirder as
uh,
the days go
crazier
on.
crazier things
And
have happened. I mean,
mhm,
I think that it brought them together. I think that they had a common
well,
enemy at this point, and like,
yes,
and perhaps it was like, "Oh, crap, like, who's ever gonna date me after this
no
situation?"
one,
No one. Like,
yeah, nobody,
so, I mean,
not one
s
person.
right.
I
So
mean, just because that's just a lot.
mhm, mhm, it's a
It's a
lot.
lot.
Oh, so wait, you
That's
were the Gone Girl? Oh, cool, 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 cool,
I believe you
cool.
in everything, but I'm
Mhm.
going to swipe whatever is the other way.
Right, I think is it
Swipe
left?
left? I don't know.
I don't either. I never did any of that swipey stuff. Darren,
I didn't
do you
either.
have any idea?
Left.
Left?
Okay.
Okay, okay. Whew.
So yeah, I just feel like
Yeah,
but
I think
people
so
come
too.
together in trauma and
They
I
do.
think that it's
Yeah,
they seem really happy
they
and they
do,
sued
and
the state. Didn't they? They
they
sued the
sued
police.
the police, the
Yes,
city
as
of
they
San
should.
Rafael Police Department,
They
and
did not get
they
nearly
did
enough money.
not get enough money.
They got
They
like
got,
$2
like
million dollars.
yeah, it was like 2 they
Not
settled for $2 million
not
or
enough.
something.
Not enough.
I was like, "Are you kidding me? You
Mm-mm.
guys should have gotten, like, $50 million for
Oh,
defamation."
easy,
Y right?
easy. I mean,
Especially
they
in
wouldn't
the
have seen
Bay
that, but
Area.
it
I
just
mean,
like
good lord.
out of principle, they
I
should have
know.
gotten like a cajillion dollars
I know, a cajillion and then some.
and then some change.
Yeah, a cajillion and change. Yeah,
For
for
their
sure.
kids' college. I mean,
Yeah, they have 2 kids now.
yeah,
Their family's
that's a
complete.
pretty penny.
Yeah.
Half of that's gonna go to school,
Well,
especially if they go private, you know?
yeah.
You just not
Just
cheap.
you're just being real. Yep, you're
Just
just being re just keeping it
but
real.
I mean, what a horrible, horrible thing to happen to anybody and, like but what a freak thing that
It's
I just
so crazy.
we always have our conversations, like, how, I feel about the police and stuff like that, but here's an example of, like,
I know.
absolute horse shit.
I thought about that when we were talking
I'm
about
like,
doing
everyone's
this.
like, "Natalie, not all cops are
I
bad."
know.
Okay, yeah,
Not all
I
cops.
know not all cops are bad. I know that,
I
but
know.
whatever.
Oh, well, now we got Colonel Mustard over here.
Yeah, we got Colonel Mustard,
I know.
who says his name without snickering.
I
I
know.
can't.
I
He
know.
doesn't even I don't think he's ever seen Clue.
I know.
That's how big of a dork I think he is.
And his name is Matt
Matt
Mustard.
Mustard.
I mean, what in the hell? What kinda
You know
name
what
is
that
Matt
means?
Poopy?
Ew.
Poopy diaper. Baby poop.
Mm. He
Yeah.
well, I
Colonel
could
Baby
take that
Poop.
to the next level, but I won't. This is a family show,
Right.
but
Yeah,
he
thank
doesn't
you.
take care of himself is the vibe that I get.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah. Mhm.
Like, he nasty.
Yeah. I think you're right. I'm
And
not
he's
gonna
angry,
disagree.
and I think that maybe he was, like, going through his own stuff, and
Oh, is that what you think?
I
You think
think
he was
actually
going through
maybe
his
he
own
was just, like
stuff?
I think he was just, like, really into the movie Gone Girl.
I think so too.
Like,
Yeah.
join a fan club,
Yeah,
okay?
write a
Write
screenplay,
write a
dude.
letter,
Right.
okay? Don't
Yeah.
wreck someone's life
I
over
know.
because you wanna be a film critic
I know. I know.
or a book club president,
Or you wanna, like, have some sort
garbage
of, like,
person.
live through it yourself kind of yeah, I
I
don't
mean,
know.
this is how he's gonna be remembered, as a
It is
giant asshole.
well, yeah, giant Matt Mustard asshole. Yeah. I
Mm.
said that was the first thing I wrote down in my notes. I
Oh,
said,
I know, I wrote
let me see what I wrote. I have to scroll back up to the top. I said, "Matt Mustard can f it."
Detective Sturd, because
Sorry, Darren.
my family, we say Sturd.
Oh, by the way,
Collins taught me that.
he's been Officer of the Year that year.
Oh,
He
yeah.
was Officer of the Year that year for
Yeah.
yeah. Uh-huh.
No, they put
So anyway.
all that mustard on their hot dogs that year.
Okay.
Hey!
Oh, there it is. There it is. There it is. Listen, we got to talk
Please.
about we got
We
to
gotta
we got to cool it down.
Let's calm down.
We got to calm down a little bit. We're
Let's
getting a little
end
too riled.
let's end this with a very pleasant well,
It's not
it's not that pleasant. Let's end it on a pit stop, Joey.
Okay.
Which is ironic, not
Yeah.
ironic,
A little bit. A
coincidental
little bit.
that
Yeah.
he's doing a Formula 1 movie.
Oh, he is? Oh,
Brad?
Brad Pitt.
Brad is, yeah.
I thought you were talking about the person we were going to talk about on the pit stop.
Mm-mm.
Okay, Natalie, you sent this to me on Instagram today, and I had actually seen it. And
I
now, did
hadn't.
I send it to you? Because I feel
No,
like I sent that to
it came up
somebody.
in my feed.
I
And the
think
fact that you didn't send it to me upsets me, hurts my feelings.
I thought that would show that I had restraint and that I was a good friend because I didn't send it to
Well,
you.
considering the other things that you send me and I don't get that.
True. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about a video that we saw on Instagram of Michael Douglas, everybody. Maybe you
On
saw
his
it.
account. It's on his account. He posted it.
And
Or
Michael's
his people did.
Mhm. And Michael Douglas is at a restaurant, and it's a seafood restaurant.
Oh
and
my God, is it public?
Oh, yeah, it's in public, I believe. I think so. I could have that wrong, but he's
I don't
having
know.
an oyster, and it's one of those big ones. It's one of those
Hormonal oyster. I've never seen an oyster that big. I've never seen this big of an oyster in my entire life.
what kind of oyster farm did that thing
Probably
come from?
from the South.
I mean, it
pumped
is
full of hormones.
it is I think it's maybe not. I think it's maybe California, but I don't know. I don't know.
It's big. It's like the size of a fist.
This is an oyster that ate New York, okay?
In the shell.
It is enormous.
It's raw and it's in the shell.
Yeah. And Michael Douglas goes in and just lets it, just loosens it out of the shell and just slurps it back
He does
like
the
you
oyster
do.
slurp.
But
And
are
it's
you
huge and it makes this like sucky sound, like
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
and it's because it's ginormous. It's
It's
not like
humongous. I mean,
it's not an easy like normal like you see people like slurp with their
Yeah.
oysters.
slurp.
This is like gong in his mouth, slides right in his mouth.
So, let me ask you something. Do you like oysters?
I want to. I will have one, but I feel bad because the times I've been in the presence of oysters, I'm with people that love oysters, so I
Yeah.
don't want to waste like a fancy oyster.
Yeah.
But I'll do like one so I don't look like an asshole. But no, they're not really my thing
Okay. I love oysters. I think they're fantastic and I love them. But
because they're
don't-
sexy.
They're
Yeah.
so sexy. And they're
That's
such an
speaking of Michael
aphrodisiac.
Douglas. This
But-
oyster represents
wait.
all of Michael Douglas's career in the 90s. Every movie he did, the 90s thriller he did was
This
in
is-
this oyster. We got Basic Instinct, we got Disclosure. All of these movies are in this
What's
one oyster.
Fatal Attraction is in there.
Oh,
I
all
mean,
of it in-
Fatal
oh, yeah.
Attraction is right in there. I mean,
Yup.
he
Mhm.
when I eat an oyster, I don't normally chew it. But Michael has no choice but to chew this oyster.
Why's
and
that?
he's chewing it because it's so massive. And
Also, you would
and-
think,
and then
he had throat cancer.
Okay,
okay.
well, what does that have to
No.
do with anything?
Well,
You think his
it
throat
does
maybe
because
feels good on
apparently,
his throat?
well, apparently he got throat cancer from cunnilingus.
What?
Something. Is that what I think it means? Is that the
mean
right one?
So he didn't
Colonel
get
Angus.
So
got it from Colonel Angus.
He didn't get, he didn't
Colonel Angus.
he didn't get oysters from eating he didn't get throat cancer from eating oysters. Let's put it that way. Okay? He was eating something else.
The word is correctamundo.
Got it? Okay.
That's the word. He was hanging out with Colonel Angus.
Okay, listen. I don't even
He was hanging out with Colonel Angus.
Okay, we got it. We got the
It's a Saturday Night Live skit.
We know.
Okay. Sorry.
It's Colonel Angus. Listen, I think that all I can say is he chews it. He chews it. He slurps it.
Oh,
and he lets it go down his throat. And then he goes,
all right, I'm going to die.
Like that. That's what he does. And it is the most, you guys, it is the most cringy shit.
Just look up Michael Douglas's
oyster.
Instagram.
Just Google Michael Douglas oyster and you will find it.
Go on your Instagram and just type in Michael Douglas and you'll see his account. It's right there.
Yeah, it's right there.
I think it's from
for the
January.
world to see. Yeah. Is he still married to that Catherine Zeta-Jones?
Yes.
Oh, well, okay. Lucky her.
I mean,
that's all I can say about that.
Okay. No. All right. Well,
anyway, on that note,
we did that.
Okay.
All right.
So you were the one who brought up Michael Douglas eating an oyster. I just want to let you know that.
Okay. Well, speaking of, let's do it proper. What's your favorite buns shot of Michael Douglas from 90s thrillers?
Oh, I mean, I think
they're in all of them.
But isn't it I think we discussed this, isn't it?
But just
isn't it in Fatal Attraction?
That's your favorite buns.
Yeah, I think so.
He was the biggest bunsiest in 90s.
The bunsiest having.
The bunsiest. He was so bun heavy.
Yeah.
Like no one else could even show their buns because he's already showing his buns real quick.
Yeah. Right.
He's racing to show his buns first.
Yeah.
And they were tan and he just it was, it was just a thing.
His buns are not really my kind of buns. I mean,
no,
they're to me, they're like pancakes,
They're,
couple pancakes hanging off of a leg.
They're just flat,
flabby.
There's not
loose.
Maybe they were too tan. I think that the sun got to them and took away some of that oomph, I suppose.
All right. Well, Natalie,
I would have said Disclosure, but whatever.
Okay. Well, yeah. Okay. Oh my gosh. Right. Disclosure. That's the one with Woody Harrelson and Demi Moore.
Demi Moore.
Yeah. Right.
Is Woody Harrelson in that movie?
He's the husband.
That's Indecent Proposal.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And that's Robert Redford. And I don't think he shows buns.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh my God.
Woody Harrelson definitely shows buns. But I don't think Sir Robert Redford would show buns. Okay?
Oh, I think he would. I think we've seen some Robert Redford buns.
When?
I beg to differ. I'm going to find those buns and I'm going to show you those buns.
That's your homework.
Okay, fine. Great.
And we'll talk about it on our next pit stop.
Okay, sounds good.
Later.
Okay, great.
Okay, well, Angela.
Yes.
Thank you so much for this riveting conversation.
You're so welcome. Thank you.
And I hope that y'all watch this American Nightmare on Netflix. It's just it's mind-boggling. It's insane. It's a happy ending, which is not usually the case.
Right.
So relatively, but yes. It's just really fascinating. So I highly recommend watching. It's only 3 episodes. So
and it goes by quick because it's interesting and it's very well edited. And also, I want to say to you that the cop who finally cracked the whole case, Misty Caruso, she became a lieutenant and was promoted and was So cheers to her. Is what I want to say. Misty. I was going to say Dr.
She's
Misty,
so cute.
but I meant
She's
Lieutenant
so
Misty.
Lieutenant.
Yes.
There you go.
To
That's
you,
a cop
Misty.
I like.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway,
right. Well,
cheers to you. And
cheers,
to
I love you.
I will say, namaste thinking about Michael Douglas eating an oyster. Okay? Yep. Mm-hmm.
Namaste throat cancer.
Okay. Fabulous.
Hey! Run it back.
Thanks, Colonel Angus.
Colonel Angus. Love you. Bye.
Now, isn't that better? Thanks for listening. Feel free to leave us a review and be sure to subscribe wherever you get your shows. Put Your Books Down is produced by ClantonCreative.com.